just me and my guitar.
With an estimated worth of $22.3 billion, Mukesh Ambani, the majority shareholder in Indian conglomerate Reliance Industries and the 19th richest person in the world, previously lived with his family, including his mother and brother, in a Mumbai mansion until his masterpiece of opulence was finally finished. I guess that's kind of usual in the UK. You might live with your parents for a bit until you can afford your own place. It's basically the same. Worth between 500 million and $1 billion bucks, and with astronomical construction costs, Antilia, which stands on one of the most expensive streets in Mumbai, is by far and away the most expensive home on the planet. With 27 floors and a height which would be equivalent to most 60-story buildings, it's one of the most astonishing residential constructions in the world. To give you an idea of its grand scale, here are some facts which will boggle your mind. Antilia has 9 super-fast elevators which run from its lobby to different parts of the building. As an example, the lifts which service the family's living areas at the top of the structure do not run to the lavish guest quarters, and vice versa. The Ambani family have a room on the health floor of the building, which they refer to as the ice room, which simulates the effects of winter outdoors, allowing them to escape the baking heat of Mumbai and enjoy an artificial snow flurry. It's possibly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And no mega home would be complete without a private theatre, and the one in Antilia can seat up to 50 people. Comes complete with a snack bar and wine room, and even has its own private terrace, one of the many on the property, on its roof. The suggestion had been made that the building was not constructed under the strict parameters of Vastu Shastra, and that Mr. Ambani believed moving into the tower would bring bad luck upon them. Now, this suggestion was dismissed as just being a rumour, with suggestions that the family never actually stayed overnight were equally quashed. In fact, the Ambanis live in the top 4 floors of Antilia, which forms their private residence. Family matriarch Nita Ambani, who is responsible for much of the interior design of the residence, wanted the family to enjoy as much sunlight as possible, as well as a magnificent panoramic view of the Arabian Sea. The Ambanis, like many rich families, love their cars, and within Antilia there are 6 entire stories given over to a huge car park, which allows the family to keep their collection of 168 cars together. Of course, without servicing, there is every chance their cars could break down, and that's why the family have had a fully featured service centre on the 7th floor of the building. For those guests who prefer not to arrive by land, Antilia boasts 3 helipads on its roof. 3! In case 3 of your friends turn up in helicopters at once, I guess. Although that's still probably not safe. Although, subject to objections by both the Indian Navy and Environment Ministry, who do not want to see helicopters landing in central Mumbai, the pads were built and stand ready to service mega-rich guests. The house also comes complete with an entire floor given over to airspace, which guides incoming helicopters. Unlike many billionaires who have homes and properties all across the world, Mukesh Ambani and his family live only at Antilia, which is fair enough if you've built the most ridiculous house in the history of anything. By far and away, the most incredible thing about the residence is that, along with Mukesh, his wife, 3 children and his mother, there are more than 600 staff who keep the massive structure running smoothly. In addition to domestic servants, mechanics, aviation engineers, personal trainers, gardeners, bartenders, although the Ambanis are of course teetotal, but you never know when you might want a Virgin Bloody Mary or something. Anyway, they're all highly trained people. They've got highly trained waiters and waitresses from the luxury Oberoi hotel chain. And believe it or not, there's been questions about whether or not Ambani and his family are reluctant to even live at Antilia. Mumbai residents have criticised the building as a flamboyant display of wealth in a country where most people live on less than $2 a day. Gotta say, it seems like a fair judgment.